Hey YouTube family, so this is not the way I really wanted to start a video and really talk about some things, but I have felt like this testimony video is something that has been on my spirit, on my mind from the moment that I was laid off due to COVID-19, due to business needs, due to all of that. That's the answer I got when I was laid off. I never had any problems at work as an individual or even really with other people. Never was reported any of that. So when I got that call that I was laid off, I completely broke down. I had my camera around and all of that, but I wasn't trying to record that. It was very personal to me, and I understand people get on, you know, social media and they show everything, and I just wasn't thinking about that. I seriously sat there and cried for, I want to say, a good 20 minutes, maybe a good 20 minutes, off and on throughout the day. But I had this eerie piece, and that's what I want to talk about. It's kind of as if, okay, you just were laid off, but you're fine, you're good, I got you. And it's kind of weird to explain because, okay, now I'm losing my livelihood. Now, you know, I moved back down to Georgia, and I moved back down to my mom's house to help her and my family because we were having, or they were having some, you know, financial crises, and I was trying to get a house. So it worked. All in all, it was smart to me to move back from Orlando and help my people out. And I was not only working remotely for my job and traveling when I needed to, but when I was at home working remotely, I would get up before it was time to do my project work, and it was time to do, you know, consulting and things of that nature, and take care of elderly family members of mine. I would take my elderly family members to the grocery store, get their medicine, take them to the doctor, make sure they ate, make sure they're over there breathing in their room, then take care of myself, then get ready for work. Then when I'm done with work, do grad school homework, check on my family members again, clean up the house, things of that nature, on top of financially supporting the people that I love. So when I heard the news, you're losing your job, or you're being laid off, which to me is fired, but everybody's telling me, hey, you're laid off, you have a severance. You're not, usually people are fired, and it's negative. This is business needs, this is COVID, this is a whole pandemic, it's different. So when I heard that news, I literally felt so defeated, because I took pride in having a great job. I took pride in my title. I took pride in the kind of money I was making, the moves I was making. I was literally laying out things, getting things started, and I just felt like I got slapped with this hit, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm not out here hurting anybody, bothering anybody. I'm beyond selfless, and this happens to me. And then quickly after, I spoke with some coworkers of mine. I spoke with one of my close friends, and they were like, Natasha, you're good, you're straight. Like, I don't even know why you're worried. Like, I understand the instant shock, but they were so confident, and they spoke life into me. And I feel like at a time like this, when a pandemic is happening, you need people who speak life into you. You need people who lift you up. You need people who tell you who you are if you slightly forget who you are. And when I go back to this eerie feeling that I had, it was the eeriest feeling. Like, when I say it was, I feel like when something crazy happens to you, you lose it. You go crazy. You're like, oh my God. I didn't even have that. I had a slight 20-30 minutes of sadness And it wasn't even sadness. It was more shock than anything. And then it's like, okay, we got to get to it. And I just want to talk about what I did after that. I literally found out that I was losing my job due to the pandemic, due to business needs, due to whatever. And 2 days after that was my birthday. 2 days prior was my dad's birthday, who is deceased. So I was already in a funk. Then I was getting ready for my birthday, which was a complete disaster because the pandemic, my trips were canceled. Even if I wanted to do something here in Atlanta, it was canceled because everything was shutting down. And I had a photo shoot the same day that I lost my job. And it's like something in me was like, no, Natasha, you are in control with how you respond to everything that happens to you. Do you not trust that I will take care of you? I've taken care of you so many times before. Why are you worried? Why are you, freaking out? You got this. And I picked myself up. And it is only by the grace of God that I pick myself up. And I know, everybody doesn't believe in God. Everybody doesn't have a belief system. But that belief and that trust in God and that relationship that I have with God has even been strengthened even more. I have been able to still, help my family out. I have had the amount of peace that I have had it can only be God. It literally can only be God, because I have been places where I have been depressed and done with myself. And the amount of peace that I have right now it can only be God. It can't be anything else but God. And I go to sleep in peace. I wake up in peace. Yeah, I'm like, hey, I need a job. But it's a different kind of peace because I know I'm going to be taken care of. And it also has given me time to think of what has been my idol. Has it been the titles? Has it been the money? Has it been the ability to pretty much do what I want? Like, I want to go on a trip. I was able to just go on a trip. I want to take off from work. I had all that floating, rotating PTO. My mom needed something. Boom, here's the money. Go do what you got to do, mom. So was I making all of this access and opportunity my idol? And although prior to this pandemic, yes, I have a relationship with God. I had a relationship with God. I would read my Bible. I would still go to church. I would read my devotional. It hits very different when you lose your job, when you lose your livelihood. And it's like, are you going to let this shake you? And are you going to lose track of who's truly in control? And with all this quietness going on and churches being closed down and places to go get your fix, whether it's hookah, whether it's drinking, whether it's twerking and strip clubs and whatever it is that people do to get to release, all of that is shut down. You literally can only go to the grocery store and to get gas and to the hospital if it's an emergency. And you really don't even want to go there because that's where all the sick people are right now. So it's just like, wow, like he really is stopping everything. And I truly believe that whether this pandemic is man-made, man-created, whatever, God is in control of what happens with that. What the enemy, set for evil, God can use it for his good. God can turn any situation around. And I truly, believe that all of this that's happening is deeper. And don't get me wrong, like the day I was laid off, I was sad. I went to my photo shoot. I did what I had to do. The next day I was out there fixing resumes. I was out there networking. I was fixing all my employment sites like LinkedIn and Career Builder and Indeed and all of that good stuff. I was out there networking, following up with people, spending time with my family members. I was out there moving as if nothing had happened. And it's as if I just am ready for the next promotion. And this is only preparing us for the next thing. And sometimes I sit back and I'm just like, me losing my job was a blessing. It couldn't have been anything else but a blessing. Like, it couldn't have been anything else. I'm over here dropping YouTube videos. I'm over here being more, you know, conscious with my friendships, with my family. I'm over here spending more time throughout the day with my family instead of sitting cooped up in my office doing work 24/7, getting frustrated. I'm out here randomly listening to worship music now instead of having a set time to do it. It's just coming upon me to spend more time with God. And it's like, you can't tell me that's a coincidence. You know, everything happens for a reason. And I believe that God is just, he's moving a wide space and tightening it up into a single lane and trying to get us in this lane. And I just want to encourage anybody who has lost their job, anybody who's about to lose their job, anybody who's worried about their job. Understand that your value is not in that job. Your value is not in how much money you make, the title of your job, where you work, the house that you live in, the car that you drive. Your value comes from Christ. He already won the battle, believe it or not. We live in the world, so we deal with a lot of things where we don't see that the battle is won, but he's already won the battle. He's already, you know, defeated the enemy. And we have to walk around here empowered and understand that because of what he did for us, we got this. Whether we lose a bunch of jobs, whether it takes a moment for us to get hired, we got this. And this is just a reminder to me again and again of what is important. I've never been super materialistic or super needy of stuff, but it even reminds me, like, there are so many things that are more important. My family is important, my friends, my health, you know, the fact that I get to wake up in the morning and I'm okay. There are people that are waking up and are sick. There are people that aren't waking up. We have breath of life. That right there is in and of itself a blessing, that I can wake up and I can do something today. I can eat, I can feed myself, I can clothe myself. And I think that with the hustle and bustle of the world, we literally forget how good God is. We get so killed into this politics, we get so drawn into, you know, being successful, looking successful, having a man, having a woman, whatever. And we completely forget our purpose on this freaking planet. And our purpose has nothing to do with why we think we're on this planet or why we, you know, what we want to do on this planet. We have a sole purpose that God put us on here for. And I feel like all of this quiet time, God has just been giving me creative stuff to do. I have been outreached by businesses. Businesses have been finding me for work. Like, you can't tell me that's not God. I have made sure that I have done what I need to do, and God is moving in all of it. I mean, I'm interviewing. I had a 6th interview with a company yesterday, and I'm just like, this is the 6th interview. 6. And I'm just like, God, if it's meant for me to have it, it's mine. I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to let you handle that. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to research. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to let you handle that. And it's been positions that are out of my comfort zone or things that I have done, but now require more responsibility. So it's like, okay, God, you want me to move. You want me in a whole different position. You want me elevated. You're literally remove me from something to promote me. So I have nothing to do but to trust you, because we are in trying times right now. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to have losing your job put you in a state of depression. because depression comes from the enemy. Feeling less than comes from the enemy. I have never encountered God telling me that I'm less than, that I'm weak, that, you know, I'm a pussy, that I'm this, that I'm that, because of how I feel. I've had God comfort me. I've had God correct me like a father does to his child. But I've never experienced God putting me down, whether I was right or wrong. And that is exactly what he is. He's a comforter. He wants the best for you. So as you deal with this pandemic, find things that inspire you. Try to really, you know, pray and look for answers as to what is God telling you in this season of your life. Is he telling you to rest? Is he telling you to spend more time with your family? Is he giving you a dream that is bigger than your job and is bigger than the amount of money and opportunity your job could even give you? I've had all kinds of business ideas and plans and inspiration come to my mind that I know if I was still working with that company, it probably would have came to my mind, but not in the way that it did. I probably would have just put it aside, wrote a note, and not even looked into it. And this video that is super long now, it's just been on my mind. My last day at that job was April the 1st. Today is the 15th, and I have been thinking of a way to talk to you all about my blessing through the pandemic of losing my job. I've been trying to figure out how to paint it in a perfect picture. So it was spam calling me, of course. I just think that we have to look at what is happening to us in the bigger scope of things. We have to remove ourselves out of the equation, remove our idols out of the equation, and really get to the purpose of all of this. Why is it happening? Not why is it happening to me? Why is it happening, and what is God trying to show me? And to be quite honest, this whole pandemic thing is scary, but I have like this internal fearlessness. Like, I just want to do whatever it is that God wants me to do. I want to empower people. I want to speak to people. I want to get you excited about life. I want to get you motivated. And when I say it's amazing how God will use you in your most empty and trying times. It's amazing on how you think you've lost everything, but really you have gained even more. And it's amazing how you can think that you have nothing and you literally have everything that you need. And sometimes we lose focus of that. I doubt myself a lot, and now in this place that I am in, I don't doubt myself. And I think me being laid off and losing my job was a lot of embarrassment that I was worried about. I don't want people feeling sorry for me. I don't want people looking at me and thinking I'm broke, because I'm not. I don't want, you know, or even if I was, I don't want, you know, I just don't want those things that come along with unemployment and having without to be plastered upon me. And this is where you literally have to give it to God. You can't worry about what people think, how people will judge you, what people got to say. You literally have to move at the beat of your own drum. And I cried, but have I cried since then? No, unless I'm like praising the Lord. No. Do I miss my job? I loved my job and I loved my position, but do I know God has better? Yes. And will God bless me in the face of my enemies? Yes. And I believe that's the scripture. Yes. Will God give me more than what I've lost? Yes. Has God protected me and covered me in this whole thing and will continue? Yes. Has the battle been won? Yes. Am I blessed and highly favored? Yes. Does God comfort the brokenhearted, the weak, the sick, the destitute, the ones left for dead. Yes, that's in his word. Not paraphrase like that, but that's in his word. You know, God, if God can use the murderers, the strippers, the hoes, the sick, what makes you think he can't use you? What makes you think that this is it? Because we're in a pandemic and everybody's freaking out? You need to tell that mountain who your God is. Don't tell God how big the mountain is. He already sees it. He sees everything. Tell that mountain who your God is and how big your God is and how mighty he is. God created that mountain. Shoot. Tell your mountain how big God is, and then start working. We got to put our faith into works. And when you get one no, you're being set up for a bunch of yeses. So that one no or multiple no's is just setting me up for my big God-given yes. And I hope that this blessed you. Comment, like, subscribe. This is a different video. It's not all pretty and put together like I like it to be, but I have been really touched with sharing this because, I mean, a pandemic shakes up everything. But when you know who God is, you won't allow it to break you. You know who to go to, who's your source for everything. And we're all going to be okay. So I'll talk to y'all guys later. Don't judge me. You know, I'm going to try to be cute later. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.